What would be the best educational change to live in coherence?
Básicamente
Basically, it would be to practice education and not teaching.
y no enseñanza.
Basically, that's it.
Básicamente es eso. La diferencia entre
The difference between
enseñanza y
teaching
educación
and education is fundamental. In order to understand an educational system,
sistema educativo.
the system of teaching means pointing out something, yes?
Significa
I teach.
señalar algo, ¿sí? Yo enseño, yo seño, yo
I
señalo,
point
yo
out something,
muestro
I
algo.
show something.
Entonces yo te muestro
So I show you
cuál es
what
la
the truth
verdad.
is.
Eso
That
es
is to teach.
enseñar.
So the teaching system we have today is created. It is a system created during the times of the Industrial Revolution.
Es un sistema dominado en momento de
When the Industrial Revolution took place, in 1800, around the year 1800,
1800,
during that century of the revolution,
durante ese siglo de la
all those who used to be with their families and worked as a family with their children and so on, went on to work in factories, and that is why they reinvented the concept of the Greek school,
concepto de la escolé,
in which the children,
en el cual se trajo a los niños
who now didn't have anyone to stay with at home, because their parents or grandparents worked, the children started going to school, while the others were in the factories. School itself became a concept of a factory of people,
concepto de fábrica de personas, porque obviamente
because it was obviously the fashion at that time.
sin embargo es lo que
However,
siguió,
it is
¿no?
what followed. It's a scientific concept of education, a non-humanistic concept. It's a scientific concept of education, in which truths are discovered by those who have the skills to look for them, and then all of this is gathered in a book, where the human has to learn it by heart, even if he hasn't experimented with it. So the scientific teaching system created in the industrial system is the education that we have today, when in reality, education is educo, yes. Educo from the Latin to carry towards. Duco, ducere is to carry something, or to take something from one place to another. Educo would be to take what is within me towards the outside. So it has nothing to do with receiving information from the outside inwards, but with taking what is within me outwards. So, a type of education based on experimentation, on joy, on enjoyment, on play, on discovery, on the personal search for answers. So, according to me, in that case, education has no system. Education has no method. And one and only method of education does not exist. There are many teaching methods, or many methods to allow us to try education. However, when we are based on, let's say, Montessori pedagogy, Waldorf pedagogy, any type of methodology that exists, they are all useful. All pedagogies that exist are useful, even public school teaching. They are all useful. Why are they all useful? Because each person learns in a different manner. The problem is when one way is imposed, and that is a methodology of work. So what is the best educational change in order to live in coherence? Not to have a methodology. The only methodology should be discovery deriving from the need to learn, yes? From learning itself. And one could say, but the kids don't want to learn. No, we are mistaken. The kids do want to learn, but they learn in a different way. We have a preconception of what learning is in our lives that has to do with a book, with school, with sitting down, with talking, with asking, and in reality, one also learns a lot through the internet, through living daily situations, yes? So it's not that the children do not want to learn, but rather that the system is so outdated that when you talk to them about education, what they imagine is school, right? That's why I think that the great educational change is to return to educating and not to teaching. And that is coherent. Because I am obviously going to think what I feel and what I do.